Alright, 6 o'clock at Witcher's Beach, and the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. Look around. Right there, you can see the wind, the way the flags are blowing. It's coming from the... Alright, it's 7 o'clock at Chocowinity. The water, it's been hours since I last came out and videoed. The water is now coming up over the bulkhead. Wind's been pretty steady for the last hour or two. You can see it's coming up over our neighbor's pier. Not quite up to our pier yet, but it is definitely coming into the yard at this point. So we still have a few more hours to go, so it's definitely going to get up in the yard. Looking back towards Washington, you can see how windy it is. You can see a flag there. I'll zoom in on it. So definitely wind's blowing pretty hard at this point. Yep. Also starting to puddle in the yard from all the rain. Whoops. All right. We'll check in another hour. Definitely, definitely feel like Jim Cantori out here. All right, we got Wally the weather dog here. According to Wally, it's getting a little windy out here. You see the water is now coming up over our bulkhead. It's up to our pier. Our neighbor's pier is right up at it. Ours is just a little bit higher. It's been about an hour since I was out here, and so it's come up some. The wind is definitely just pushing it. If we look here, there's a flag. You can see it's blowing from north to south towards us, so it's pushing all the water up on our side of the river here, which makes it pretty rough. You can also see water starting to, from all the rain, starting to pool in the sand, in the yard. It's been raining here pretty steadily for the last couple, 3 hours. It's intermittent earlier in the day, but now it's just coming down hard, and the wind is just, probably 20 to 25 miles an hour, pretty steady at this point. So, we'll give you another check-in in an hour or two. It'll be dark at that point, but we'll see how much water comes up at that point. Okay, 8:30. The water has come up a little bit higher. It's right at the edge of the pier. It's now in the yard. You see the bulkhead there, compared to where it was earlier. So the wind is still steady, the rain's still steady, and it's just kind of maintaining. Okay, it's a 9 o'clock update for you guys who want to know what's going on at Pamlico River down at Witcher's Beach. Suck out in the yard here. And you can see the water is now up over our bulkhead. So you can see the bulkhead right there. Now it's crossed over pretty good. Here's our pier. The water is up right to the bottom of the pier right now. Woo. Splashing up, losing a few boards. I look back towards Washington there, you can see the flag still whipping along pretty good. It's changed directions a little bit. Wally the weather dog back in it. Alright, it's 11 p.m. I'm gonna go see what it's. Alright. Water is up higher over the bulkhead. Definitely standing in the yard now. You can see it coming up over the pier. Woo! Watching up a few more boards. Woo! Somebody's boat has gotten loose. He's floating down the river. I think this one's from portside. Somebody recognized it from being down there, but it has gotten loose. All right, Wally, what's it looking like, buddy? All right, so that's our back lot. And there is a canal back there. Got a few ducks riding out the storm. You as well. Now we walk out the front of the house. Woo! The wind is blowing right in our face. And you can see it is now up in our yard. We've got a few waves here. A little debris blowing in. Wind is blowing about 30 miles an hour coming right at us. The water has come up quite a bit. This has been like in about 30 minutes. It went from below the pier, and you can actually see the bulkhead, to now it is over our neighbor's pier, and it's getting ready to cover our pier. So this would be the worst of the storm for about the next 30 minutes to an hour. The wind blowing north right at us, water off the river. Woo. Alright, okay, it's 11 o'clock and the storm is lightening up a little bit. Man, the water's reached, I think, its peak and is starting to go down. Give you a quick view. Obviously, everything is still underwater. If you look out here, we still got our duck patrol checking it out. One of the challenges we've got right now is there's just going to be so much debris floating around everywhere I look out in the water. You can't really tell because it's too far away, but there's just logs and wood and stuff floating around. But downstairs, the water line, well, we're still getting a few waves. The water line is showing us that it's gone down probably about 6 to 8 inches from where it was an hour ago. If we look down here, you can see an example, just pieces of wood, pieces of pier that have broken off from people's floating around. So once the water goes down in 2 or 3 hours, that stuff will be scattered all over the yards, and that'll be our cleanup this afternoon. Usually when the storm passes, the wind will shift, and at some point it'll suck the water back out of the river. You can see my neighbor's house there. See how high the water is. If I look at the back here, we're still solid water all the way back across the canal. There's a canal out there somewhere. There's boat trailers. You can't see them because they're underwater. But there's if you look really close, I can't get a good view. Just a lot of debris. Anyway, okay, got our 12:30 update. We're downstairs, and yeah, we're still underwater. In the house, the water has gone down. You can see where it was. So it was about 2 feet underneath our house. Still got a few inches. Out to the front. And you can see just all the stuff floating up in the water here. And if you look out there, we are starting to see the tops of the post on the pier. Can't see the actual decking yet, but you can see the tops of the poles, so that's progress. Had an adventure earlier. Had to turn off the gas to our propane tank. That floated up. And it was spewing propane. So called the propane people, and they first they told us we couldn't do anything, and then they came back and said, yeah, you can walk out there if you can get to it and turn it off. So crazy. You can see how deep it is here. So this point is still about 4 feet above normal river level. We'll get about 4 feet is when we get water in the house here. Still getting a few waves. A couple more hours before this stuff goes down, and then we'll get the pressure washer out and just start cleaning up. For reference, let's look at the flag one more time. So the wind direction is now changed, and it is blowing east to west. And so water is being pushed all the way back up in the river. Still got a few white caps out there. I figured I would finish the weekend off with one last video. The water has gone back down. We got a nice clean beach. Lost a couple boards, but for the better part, the pier isn't intact. The boat didn't float away. You can see back now, water's still high, but this would be considered normal levels. The yard is not too bad. All the debris that floated up just kept right on going and floated back behind. Patio's all clean. Got to finish pressure washing under here. A little dirty, so finish that in a minute. But underneath, we're all spick and span. Got our furniture all pressure washed, and things are looking pretty spiffy. Still got a little cleanup. You see the back lot is all water's gone back down. This is an idea of some of the debris that washes up when it floods like this. So we had to pressure wash underneath the house to get all that out. Neighbors are good. Vehicle started. Boat didn't float away. So, hey, we're back to normal. Give or take a little bit of cleanup stuff. So, that's the end of the weekend for the tropical storm. That's the way we roll down here. You batten down the hatches, you ride it out, and then you pressure wash everything down the next day, and you're back to normal there on the river. Yep. So anyway, have a great weekend.